Hello everyone, happy Friday. So I just want to hop on really quickly. I'm literally sitting here, you getting me all natural and dirty. Lashes all not on point. I just got done at the gym and I was, I like going and clearing my mind, but I'm going to be real, okay? I'm not exactly a gym rat, okay? I know people have been reaching out, even my kids are like, ma'am, you've been really hitting the gym, mom, like getting your workout out. I feel like I'm losing weight just, watching you work out all the time. And I start laughing because I'm like, no, it's not like that. Like, going to the gym requires discipline, right? If you know what I'm talking about, put gym in the comments. It's not something, some of you guys love working out. And I wish I had your spirit and soul, but for me, I am a mom, a nana, a business leader, an entrepreneur with a team internationally. I got other things that I could be spending my time doing that as much as I love the outcome of working out and how I feel, there's other things that take priority sometimes. If you agree, put priority in the comments, right? We're trying to live our best life, trying to hydrate, trying to eat healthy. So getting to the gym isn't always like top of my list. It's always there, but somehow it just like gets pushed back down sometimes. But I was thinking to myself as I was at the gym and I started working out, and the way that I feel after I'm done, especially having lupus and RA and fibromyalgia, working out and getting going didn't used to be something I could even have the idea in my head of doing, because it wasn't going to work for me, because it was hard on my body and my joints. If you've ever had arthritis or pain, give me a sad emoji in the comments. You know what I'm talking about. So to be able to have the ability, the stamina, the energy to go to the gym is huge. So I don't want to take that for granted. And part of living a life by design is having discipline, right? Discipline in all aspects of your life. If you want to live a life by design with God first in your life, you have to be disciplined to be able to connect with Him every single day. It's not just on Sundays, occasionally, or when things are bad, but truly having discipline to reach out and spend time with Him every day. If you know what I'm talking about, put God in the comments. So I start off my morning first thing in the morning, part of my Miracle Morning. That's a good book if you've never read it. Great for the mind. I tell you, it's not just about, supplementing my body, but supplementing my mind, my body, and all the above. Hi Betty, how are you, sweetheart? So part of that is getting a routine down of things that I have to do without fault, that I am disciplined to do. And when you keep repeating them, just like anything that you do, whether they're good or bad, they become habits. So for me, I go to prayer first thing in the morning. It doesn't matter how busy I am in the morning. I always circle back around if it's not the first thing that comes out of my mouth before I'm even coherent. Sometimes I'm even candidly apologizing to God because I'm like, oh, that wasn't a thought to talk to you about. My mind is still waking up, right? If you speak candid with God, put candid in the comments, right? I'm not talking King James with Him half the time. I'm just talking candidly. So prayer is one thing that I won't, shoo away from. And lately, even more so, I've been very disciplined about making sure I take time to read chapters of my Bible, not just skimming through some pages or getting some affirmations in there, which I believe, and I do decrees all the time, because you speak out what, the tongue is powerful. Whether you're speaking negativity in your life or whether you're speaking positivity, you have to choose to be disciplined in the way that you talk. Now, everybody knows I'm a little savage, right? Sometimes I love Jesus and sometimes I love the F-bomb, but I'm always trying to be better than I was, just a little bit better than the day before, right? If you agree, put 1% in the comments. And so I was going through my workout thinking about how it took a lot for me to get here, but how great I felt afterwards. And that is so many things in my life that I've learned over my journey over the last few years is I just don't know what I didn't think I knew on some things. You may be someone who doesn't know what they don't know, but you're so conditioned to be a creature of habit that it's nice just staying warm and cozy in your comfort zones, that you don't go out there. And so I was, thinking about it as I was getting my workout on and feeling like, this feels good, as the muscles were, tightening up. And I was like, man, I feel alive, right? Doing these things. But I was thinking to myself, hi, Angela, how are you? That it took discipline to show up today. Just like it takes discipline to show up every day in your life. And, I didn't know what I didn't know about health and wellness, right? I had to learn that. I had to learn why gut health is important, proper nutrition, restorative sleep, and what that does so that I can be pharmaceutical free. And I have been pharmaceutical free for 3 years now. That's always going to be the core of me, of my health and wellness journey and everything in my life. I keep talking about how I'm in the next chapter of chronic illnesses because I'm sharing my business side of my life, because a lot of people, we joked around talking to you about your hormones and you're like a bounce, you go, wow, wasn't top priority in my life at one point. I am an accountant by trade with a background in law. So I have a business attitude, right? So entrepreneurship just naturally comes to me in the way that I align my life by design, because I want to affiliate and I want to do business with people, that are like-minded and vibe like I do, as well as I want to make sure I'm affiliated with things that are making a difference in the world. And so as I was going through, is that even being a business owner, right? Maybe you're a brick and mortar business owner. Maybe you too got your side hustle on, or your main hustle, right? All of that takes discipline. You can't just open a business and hope that everything's going to go well. You got to put your time and energy in every single day. If you only open up shop on Sundays, right? Do you think that you're going to have the best business? No, it's about being dedicated every single day. If you want the best marriage or the relationship, do you think that you just get to participate on, every Saturday when you take them out for date night? If you're lucky, you're taking them out for date night. No, it's about consistency and being disciplined in what you do, even when you don't want to do it, right? You want to be the best parent. Does that mean that you just parent on every Thursday of every week, or I take Taco Tuesday off and don't do nothing? No, you have to stay disciplined no matter what's happening in your life. It's so easy to get distracted, especially when we have a wonderful little enemy sitting on the sidelines watching, especially as you keep evolving and growing in the way you want to by design, by what God created you. That enemy is going to be sitting on the sidelines trying to throw rocks at you and dirt and mud and use other people's insecurities to try to drag you back down, because he sees that you're like succeeding and that you're on that path of going, and maybe you're not succeeding right now. Maybe paths are really rough and you're in some rough, rocky paths and you're trying to like pray for some guidance and some smooth paths ahead of you, and and you're like, come on God, I need some of that supernatural miracles in my life. If you know what I'm talking about, put miracles in the comment. And then sometimes our discipline goes away. It's kind of like going to the gym, because you look down and you don't see the abs. I don't know about you, but like every time I work out, I look down to see if I got my 6-pack on. If you agree, put abs in the comments. But I was just thinking about it, because as I'm going through and I am participating in my life every single day now, not just existing, which many of you guys have typed existing in the comments before, because you know what it feels like just to exist in life. But now that I'm living my life, I'm living by design, and I have to be disciplined in the things that I do in order to reach the success that I want in my family, being the leadership that I want to be, whether it be in my business internationally with all these different personalities and cultures, or whether it be in my own family, my son trying to raise him like a good man, my daughters hopefully looking at their mom and saying, hey, you know what, maybe one day I want to be like her too, because they're amazing. So I would never say that they needed an improvement, but we all want to keep evolving. Maybe it's the friends and family that were given to me by choice, that I get to choose to do life with, right? I try to vibe at a different level because I want to my vibe attracts my tribe. If you agree, put vibe and tribe in the comments. So I just, as I was working out, wanted to share with you guys, because it was really like strong on my spirit today that somebody might need to hear this, because as I'm reaching out and I'm talking to people, even like with our Fuel Tab company, right? And I was joking around, tomato, ethanol, ethanol, they just passed it, a mandatory increase in the amount that's being placed in our gasoline in order to try to bring down prices of gasoline. But all you're doing is getting watered down fuel. It's not like you're really giving us any savings in the long term. It's like a short-term band-aid for a long-term illness that's going to come up. And if you've ever dealt with chronic illness, I speak fluent chronic illness when I talk about that. So it's no different than like talking about your vehicles, that they're adding this to help try to bring down the prices because of the recession. But what they're doing in turn is when you're adding more of that to your fuel, you're actually opening up a space for more havoc in your life, because then it can damage your vehicle in the process, because it's, bringing in that water into your engine, into your fuel components. Like, it's bad news. And so, and you're not getting increased miles per gallon. You're actually spending more for the same trip. But it's this idea that, it's going to help us. And so I wouldn't have known that, right? Because let's be real, cars is like the last thing on my mind. I joke around that my body's a Bugatti, right? Maybe you got a Bugatti, because I tell everyone we all have Bugattis, the most expensive luxury vehicles in the world when we treat it that way. But not always do we feel that way when we don't know what we're supposed to be doing. So hence I went on the health journey. I shared with you guys. A lot of you guys became my friend on that health journey because you didn't know what you didn't know. And so now as I move into the next chapter of my life, I'm sharing something else that you may not know that you don't know, because it's always about trying to help people, and God will use whatever vehicle he needs to, because let's be real. People right now are trying to decide whether they can afford the fuel cost, whether it's gas or diesel, or their food cost, which try eating healthy. It's kind of expensive if you haven't noticed. Or getting their supplements that their body needs because they need that, right? Or getting the medications if they're still on medications. We're having to decide with this recession which way we're going to go. And this isn't going to get any better, just so that you know. So when I reach out to people and I share with them, even at the gym, I was working because I can work from anywhere. So I was, just sending messages explaining to people, hey, If you don't got this fuel tab in your tank, you're spending more than you should. And you're probably adding more stress to your life than you should, because stress is not a good thing, not just for the chronically ill like myself, but everyone. And the thing is that when we go through life, we think we know what we know, and especially as we get older, it's nice because we're like, oh, we know what we need to know to get by. But we have to constantly be evolving with times, because time does not stand still. And we have to decide whether we're going to be with it or we're going to be against it and fighting it the whole way. And so I was, I reach out. And if I reached out to you, thank you for being kind and responding back, because I truly am sharing things in my life, whether it is about my health journey and you just, maybe I saw that you were sick and hey, you might want to check out your gut health still, because I'm still that to the core. Just because I'm not affiliated with a company anymore doesn't mean I can't love my friends that still are. Or if I reach out to you and say, hey, I know you're complaining about those gas prices. You might want to look into why you should be concerned about what's going on right now and our environment around us, and so I tell people, and some people are like, oh, it's too good to be true, just like your supplements were too good to be true. Well, I wouldn't be sitting in front of the gym if supplementation was too good to be true. I'd be sitting at home in bed wondering why it feels like Groundhog's Day every day, trying to get up and taking medications just to exist. And so if I reach out to you and I try to share something with you, it's a genuine place in my heart that I really care about you guys, because I understand what stress does to the body. And I mean, let's be real. I could sit out at Costco and literally hand out the little fuel tabs and be like, put this in there, try it, see what happens, try it for yourself. And I tell people that all the time, right? Because they're like, oh, well, is this too good to be true? And I'm like, no, it's real. It's, technology that won the Nobel Prize back in 1973. And so it's not something new. If you don't know what organometallics are, you might want to look into that catalyst, because that's what's in this. So for those who are worried about things that are going on in life and how they're going to combat the fuel prices and the inflation and everything else, that you probably should start learning about what you don't know, because maybe you've never been in a place like this in your life where you've had to worry about stuff this much. And so that's why I share with them. I'm like, learn something new, get a good laugh. I have the pretty funny video on my link tree if you haven't checked it out, because we all got big ass problems, right? Say that fast a few times. I'm hoping I'll have that problem, the big peach problems from the gym. But in seriousness, all jokes aside, I just wanted to share that with you, because as I was working out at the gym, I kept thinking to myself about that, is that, life takes discipline in whatever you do. I have discipline in my business because I want to share and I want to make a difference in people's lives. I want to help them. I want to educate them if they don't know, because a lot of people just don't know what they don't know. If they're, dealing with chronic illnesses, I still as a friend want to cheer them on the sidelines and explain to them why they want to look into getting their health better. As a friend, I want to be able to support and inspire people to want to be better and do more in this life and unlock what God created us to do, because so many of us are just kind of going through life just living by default, and we haven't figured out our purpose, or we honestly have, but we just haven't embraced it, and we're living miserably. So if you want to be living a life by design, it's going to take discipline. It's going to take, like I said, waking up every day and choosing to be in a certain life, and choosing to be a certain person, and choosing to be a certain way, even on the days that we don't want to be that way. I mean, let's be real. I had days where I'm just like, today Heather is going to be savage. She does not care about nobody. She's not going to have that empathetic bone in her anymore, and she's just going to go do what she needs to do, right? If you know what I'm talking about, put savage in the comments, where you just know that you woke up like a 2-year-old that needs a nap, and you're like, nope, not today. But then I'm like, yeah, not today, Satan, because I know that is not of God. He doesn't want to create, frustration or fear or anxious feelings or anything else. And so that's why I always try to default to gratitude, because it's really hard to dwell in disappointment and depression and anxiety if your heart is in the place of gratitude at all times. Do you have any instant taco tablets? Oh my gosh, Ben, if we do, you will be the first to know. But that's why I need to make sure that my fuel's on point and I get lots of miles per gallon, so that when I'm doing those taco runs, that I make sure I'm efficient. See, smarter, Ben, smarter. Not working harder, smarter. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys have a fabulous weekend, and maybe something I said to touch your heart. And if it did, drop me a heart and the emojis, heart emoji in the comments. And if it didn't, that's okay. It's not always for you. We can still be friends. But I just wanted to touch base with you guys, say hello. It's been a little bit since I did a live, share some insight that I was feeling, because a lot of the time people will reach out and go, you know what, I think you were talking to me. And I'm like, you know what, I think I'm pretty much talking to me, just like I am in this live. I see myself and I'm talking to Heather saying, get your shiznit together. Like, you need to live a life by discipline and design, not by default, and wonder and crying to God, why is my life turning out this way? And yet I'm not taking any action in it. So anyways, guys, like I said, have a fabulous rest of the weekend. God bless, and I'll talk to you guys all soon.